Hey, Karthik, I can see your video. Can you unmute yourself?
Hey, Mulyadi, is it
Ah,
good? Yeah, okay.
there. So yeah, I mean, I know Karthik for a long time. I think way back when I haven't even moved to Indonesia yet. I think we met on one of the Magento Imagine or something like that, right? In the States. I remember. Thank you, Karthik, for be here in the Meet Magento. I think this is your second time. I mean, last time is 2018, is it? Or 2000? No, no,
2018, I
2007.
think. 17, yeah.
17, yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. Karthik is the CEO and the founder of the DC Cap. It's an agency, I think, based in both US and India, right, Karthik? All right. I'm not going to take too much time of you. I'll just give you all the stage to you, and you can introduce more about you.
Thank you, Mulyadi. Let me just share my screen. I just want to make sure you're able to see it. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Are you able to see my screen, Mulyadi?
Yes, I can see your screen perfectly.
Okay. Can we get started?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. Hello, everyone. Digital transformation by creating low effort experiences and leveraging data. But before I start, Terima kasih, thank you, and Nandri. Nandri is my mother tongue Tamil, and the equivalent is thank you and Terima kasih. First of all, I want to say a big thank you to the iCube team, Circlo, and most importantly, Mulyadi Gio. Hey, it's awesome to be here. And like Mulyadi mentioned, I was here a few years ago, and you can see some of my pictures in Jakarta, Indonesia. I thoroughly enjoyed my time there. It was my first time to Jakarta. It was a great experience. And of course, I have to talk about the hospitality of the iCube team and Mulyadi's great hospitality. And I also enjoyed the Indonesian food. So I have very fond memories, and it's awesome to be back here at Meet Magento Indonesia. But this time, I'm talking to you from my home. And in a way, it's a different experience because we have audiences from across the globe. We have audiences from US. We have audiences from, of course, Indonesia, from India, Singapore. And it's awesome to be back on stage again at Meet Magento Indonesia. And a big thank you. So before I get started, right? So I just wanted to kind of walk you through the agenda. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about DC Cap so you know who I am and who we are as a company. And this session is going to be focused on low effort experiences. What exactly is a low effort experience and the role of workflow automation in low effort experiences. And in the second half of this session, let's talk about leveraging data. Hey, all of us talk a lot about data, but then let's also talk a little bit about the tyranny of metrics and how do you actually use data to the best of your advantage. And then based on time, we'll also have a Q&A. Yeah. Again, it's so exciting to be here, and let's get started. So that's Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft. And what he says is our industry does not respect tradition. What it respects is innovation. Well, what Satya is talking about is more specific to the tech industry. And thinking out loud, I think it applies to every industry. If you are a retailer, if you are a merchant, if you are a manufacturer or a distributor or a small business selling online via e-commerce on a Magento platform, you definitely need to innovate. So oftentimes, it's actually a myth that innovation is for the large corporations. As you know, it is the small startups who break the status quo and who actually innovate. But what is innovation? If you really think about it, it's actually a scary word. Hey, you have to innovate. What does that really mean? But it is, if you really break it down, it is a bunch of small experiments. You run small experiments all the time. And if you listen to any of the tech CEOs, they talk about running experiments. Hey, we are running this experiment, we are running that experiment. And small experiments, as you keep running, gets compounded and leads to innovation. On that note, a little bit about myself. Again, this is Karthik Chidambaram, CEO of DC Cap. Just to give you a little bit of background about the company, we started in 2005. We were bootstrapped. We had very humble beginnings. We started with 2 desks, 2 computers, and 2 people. And we are headquartered in north of Austin in a place called Round Rock in Greater Austin area in Texas. And we also have operations in Chennai. I did my master's in Chicago at Illinois Institute of Technology, and it's been a great ride. So about DC Cap, we have been in business 15 years. We have a little over 150 people. That's our biggest asset. We are super proud of our team. And even thinking out a little more loudly, we don't consider ourselves as a company. DC Cap is a community, and DC Cap is an ecosystem. We are platform agnostic. We work on multiple platforms, and Magento being the core of it. So happy to be here at Meet Magento Indonesia. And in terms of our product suites, so we have Chloris, which is a cloud rapid automation platform. Essentially, it integrates 2 systems together. It could be your ERP and an e-commerce platform. We also have Visby, which is a visual analytics tool and a visual analytics platform where you're able to make decisions based on data. We have FlexiPen, which is a flexible product information management tool. And essentially managing your product data and content becomes easy with FlexiPen. And we also have Productimize, which is a product customization platform. If you want to configure, customize, and buy, you would use Productimize, and it integrates with Magento. And last but not least, we also have QA Touch, which is a smarter test management tool for your testing needs. Talking about low effort experiences. This is an interesting word. What is a low effort experience? What constitutes a low effort experience? And why do you need a low effort experience? When I was in Jakarta a few years ago for the Meet Magento event, I was fascinated by Gojek, the platform where you can get a scooter and you can just hop on a scooter. Of course, I've seen Uber and Lyft in the US and Ola in India, but riding on a scooter was fascinating. And I was from a different country, but then I wanted to try Gojek and see how it is. I was really curious. So, but I thought, okay, it's going to be a bit of effort. I need to get it installed and all that. But I decided to give it a try. It was an extremely simple process where all I had to do was download the app, key in my information, and I press a button, and the scooter and the driver come and pick you up at the hotel, and I got a ride of the city. That was fun. And the same thing happens today. If you want to go somewhere, you don't really think about it too much. Hey, let me get on an Uber. On a click of a button, I'm able to call the Uber taxi, get onto Uber, and just hop on it, and they drop you at the destination. What about ordering food, right? With Uber Eats and some of the other platforms. We are so used to not making food at home because it is a low effort experience where on a click of a button, hey, you get food on your doorstep. So this is exactly what a low effort experience is. You don't really want to make the customer think, and you make them lazy where it makes it extremely simple for them to order food or order a cab. How does this relate to e-commerce? How does low effort experience relate to workflow automation? Now let's talk about retail and let's talk about e-commerce. Think about it. You are a retailer and you have a customer placing an order online. The customer usually places the order on the e-commerce site. In this instance, the customer places an order on your Magento platform. But then as a customer, after I place my order, I would like to know the status of my order, and I would like to know the shipping information. With small or mid or large companies, a lot of times the order is not processed in e-commerce. The order is actually processed in the ERP. The ERP could be Profit 21, Epicore's Profit 21. It could be Epicore's Eclipse, Oracle, Salesforce, SAP. So the order is processed in the ERP and the shipping information is updated in the ERP. But for a customer, it really does not matter if you're using an ERP or a CRM or an e-commerce. All that matters to the customer as an end user is to ensure that I get the tracking information of the order. So the order from the ERP actually needs to be passed on to the e-commerce for a seamless, low effort experience. And that becomes critical. Or, for instance, if you call the customer service representative at a company, and if the customer service personnel is going to say, hey, wait a minute, I don't have information on your order, it's on a different system, I need to go find it. You don't really want that. So that is actually a high effort experience, and it makes the process cumbersome. So you really want to make sure that you provide an integrated experience to the customer, and integrated experience results in a low effort experience. And why is workflow automation critical? And why do you need to provide an integrated experience for your customers? Because you need to provide a consistent low effort experience, and you keep bringing down the effort the customer takes to make an order or to interact with your brand, and everything needs to be a story. Then it really increases the customer attraction towards your company, and it increases the customer trust. So it is extremely critical for you to provide a consistent low effort experience, and workflow automation helps you achieve that. So what is Caudius? And what is it got to do with an integrated low effort experience? One of the big advantages when you have working with multiple smart brains and multiple customers is you get to learn from the best. So working with amazing clients has been a really fortunate experience for us as a team. And we built Caudius, which essentially creates that low effort experience for you as a customer. So Caudius is essentially a multi-platform integration. So what does that mean? Small, mid, or large companies do not use one platform. They use e-commerce, they use CRM, they use ERP, they also use marketing automation platforms, they use accounting of finance, and you need all the information to be talking to each other, and you need to provide an integrated experience. So essentially, what Chorus is it is a magical middleware which integrates multiple systems together. So you will be able to provide the API information and get the systems integrated. As you can see here, you need, in order to provide workflow automation and in order to provide a low effort experience for your customer, you need to ensure that the data from one system is mapped to the data from the other system. You really need the systems to talk to each other, and they need to be hitting the right points. So that's what it does. So where you can simply drag what you want to connect, let's say from your e-commerce, and you can map it into your ERP. Hey, every business is different, and you need to incorporate business logic. Let's say, for example, you have your first name and last name, James and Smith. That's how you input the data in the e-commerce. But then as a low effort experience, you need, the data is passed together. It's concatenated as James Smith, and it needs to be passed like that to the ERP. So that's a business logic. That's a simple example, but you can also create complex business logics using modifiers, and that's what you see on the screen here. Hey, the product is only good if developers can use it or the customers can use it. So it's an intuitive developer interface, and you are able to be a Chorus developer, and it's pretty easy to pick up, and you can create your own business logics, and you can actually even write code being a Chorus developer with the Chorus tool. So let's talk about high effort experiences. When you talk about a low effort experience, let's look at the opposite on a high effort experience. What happens with a high effort experience? 96% of the time, it increases the disloyalty. This is actually a survey and a research report which was put together by Gartner, and it increases disloyalty with the customer. And as you can see, 81% increase in negative word of mouth. As merchants or as distributors and manufacturers or retailers, you will be very familiar with this. You do something good, it takes a long time for the news to spread. But bad news spreads like fire. And it's kind of obvious. If you're not too happy with the purchase, you're going to complain to your friends. They're going to tell them, hey, I ordered on the site, do not go and order. But then with the low effort experience, as you can see, there is an 88% increase in customer spend, which is amazing. Customers, just like the example we talked about where we just want to buy food. I like the food, and also I like the ordering experience. It doesn't take me too much effort. Says the customer spend. And in terms of the overall cost, if you really think about it, it does take money to implement a low effort experience, but actually it decreases your overall cost by 37%. And these are amazing numbers. And again, if there is one thing you would want to take from this session, I highly encourage you to work on creating low effort experiences at your companies. And that could even mean something simple as looking at the product data, making the product data better, adding product images so that you don't confuse the customers and it is an easy effort for them to order or even get information from your site. Product data and product images are some low-hanging fruits. moving on to the second half of this session in terms of leveraging data. They say data is the new oil. And how much do you leverage data, or how much do you rely on data to make decisions? Do you completely rely on data to make your decisions? Well, that's an easy answer. That's what one would think. Hey, let's not worry too much. Let's look at data and make a decision. I was reading this book, The Tyranny of Metrics by Jerry Z. Mueller, and that gave me a completely different perspective on data. If you are going to be relying on data to make all your decisions, think about it this way. If you are a surgeon or a doctor, and if you're going to be incentivized based on the number of successful surgeries you make, then as a doctor, you may not be too keen to treat the elderly. You may not be too keen to even treat high-risk patients. And that is not that great for the ecosystem. So looking at ground reality and having local knowledge is equally important, and that helps you utilize and leverage data in a better manner. On the same note, it is also important that the buy-in is not just from top down. You need buy-in from the bottom up. So it's not like the executive management decides, hey, we are going to be using data to make all our decisions, fall in line. It does not work that way. It needs to also be from bottom up, where you really need the buy-in from everybody working in your company so that everybody inputs the right information, and then the system is not gamed, and you're able to leverage data in an effective manner. And that is why we had VisB, which is a visual beacon for managing your data and ensuring the tyranny of metrics. How well do you use the metrics? And this is something we are really excited about. So what does VisB do? It integrates seamlessly with Magento, and it provides product and pricing analysis. For instance, a small change in pricing could have a lot of impact on the product performance in terms of the number of orders you make or the number of orders getting placed. So you are able to see from this dashboard which product sells better at which price, and based on the same, you are able to make your decisions. Predictive analytics. Hey, I would like to know what my sale is going to be next month, same time, or in 6 months from now, same time, or the order volume, so that I will be able to predict the effort required in terms of customer support, or managing your inventory, predicting the inventory so that the inventory could be reordered. So with machine learning and deep learning embedded into the product and integrated with Magento, it is also important for you to do some predictive analytics so that you're able to leverage the power of the system. And we have about 90% accuracy today, and constantly working on improving that number in terms of predictive analytics. We talk a lot about segmentation, and you have to reward your platinum customers. You have your gold customers, silver customers, and bronze customers, or you segregate the customers in the manner you need. But then what do you do with the data? Are you able to extract that data? And maybe you would need to pass that on into your marketing automation platform, like a HubSpot or a Digital or a MailChimp, or even simply, you may even want to extract that into a CSV file. And based on the segmentation you have done, the more the segmentation you are able to do, the better you're able to target your customers. and then the better the performance is. And based on the actionable insights you took, based on the segregated data, what are you able to do with that? And is that really helping in increased revenue? Segment, 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 and retarget. And that brings to the end of my presentation. Not sure if we have a lot of time for Q&A, but I'm open for questions.
All right, let's see from the audience if you have any questions. You can just type it on the Q&A area. Let's give them a couple minutes, Karthik.
Definitely, Mulyadi.
Going once, going twice. Nobody. All right, seems there's no questions for you, Karthik, for this time. So thank you so much for your time, Karthik, once again. Always enjoy you to be joining us in Meet the Gento, and hopefully to see you again, maybe next year.
Definitely, Mulyadi, maybe next year in person. And thank you so much for the invite. Really enjoyed talking to you and the audience here. Appreciate it and appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.